Hi, hello there. This is Tamara of RuckWood Recovery, and I'm going to answer question number 2. And this is a question that we get a lot. How do I know it is not a scam? And I've got a list of things. There are so many ways, but I picked the biggest ways that you can tell if you've been contacted about unclaimed property or tax foreclosure surplus. These are the main ways that you can tell if it's a scam or not and whether to run or stay. So the first one is this a reputable business? Does this business have a business license? Do they have their articles of organization that state clearly what their intent or their operations are? Do they have E&O insurance just in case they mess up on something? And also, do they have a proper registration with the state treasury? That is a huge thing. When you're dealing with state unclaimed property, the unclaimed property division does not accept claims that are submitted on someone else's behalf by someone who is not registered with them or on their list of approved asset recovery specialists, air finders, or locators. So make sure that you check that registration status. Make sure you ask them for it more than anything. If they say they're an air finder with the treasury, make sure you ask them for that registration status. And before you sign anything, please call the treasury and verify their registration, because you do not want to get stuck giving your personal information to somebody who is not even able to properly handle your claim, where it's actually against the law to handle your claim. You don't want to give your personal information to them. You don't want to get scammed. You don't want your personal information stolen. You want somebody who's going to be held accountable by the entity that the claim would be submitted to. And you also want to make sure you check your Secretary of State website. Make sure this is the legitimate business you are dealing with. And also, this business, whatever business it is, should provide you with their insurance provider if you ask. They should not have a problem giving you that insurance provider's name. So that is number 1. Number 2, and this is a huge one, okay? First of all, make sure you're dealing with a reputable business. But second of all, are they asking you for even a penny up front? Okay? Real air finders and recovery specialists work on contingency. That is it. By law, we have to work on contingency. So if they are asking you for money up front, it's a scam. Real recovery specialists and air finders work on contingency only. The claimant should never have to come out of pocket for anything claims related during the claims process. So your air finder, your asset recovery specialist, your investigator, your asset locator, and even in some states it's called a CDR, claimant designated representative, should be paying for everything, whether that's mailing fees, document procurement, if you got to get a birth certificate, death certificate, court records, whatever. They should be paying for that. They should be paying to mail documents. If your treasury is like ours and wants everything via mail, we send everything priority and we cover the cost of that. And more than anything, a lot of times the original owner has passed away and the claim that money has to go through probate in order for you to get a court judgment to be entitled to it. That judgment's going to be included with your claim. So that goes to another point I'm going to make later. But if you have to cover your own attorney fees, you are not dealing with a reputable air finder, asset locator, CDR, investigate. You're not dealing with that. That's not a reputable firm, and I would say run. Okay. Number 3, how transparent are they being with you? By law, we have to disclose the amount, the exact dollar amount to the claimant, what our fee is going to be. There are exceptions to that. So for asset recovery, some asset recovery specialists, we do have to be, when it comes to tax foreclosure surplus, we've got to be upfront. It's just best to be upfront about it anyway, because this is a business based on trust. But you want somebody who's going to be upfront with you about the entire claim amount, right? And how much their contingency fee is going to be. There is, like I said, there is an exception though, and that is with the Missouri State Treasury. They decide our contingency fee, and it is all based, our contingency fee is strictly based on how long the Treasury has had it in their hands. So the longer the Treasury has had it, then we are capped at 20%. If an air finder is saying they're going after unclaimed property for you and they're charging more than 20%, please do not sign that contract. That is against the law. Legitimate air finders are not allowed to charge more than 20%. And if you do end up signing with somebody who says they're putting in an unclaimed property claim for you and they charge more than 20%, please report them to the state treasury. They are not allowed to do that. By law, we are capped at 20% for unclaimed property. Also, so are they being transparent with you about the claim amount? Are they being transparent with you about their fee? And are they being transparent with you about your rights as a claimant? One thing you will see on the RuckWood Recovery website is in big red letters, you 100% have a right to file a claim on your own. Yes, you can. Is it a good idea? Probably not. I would not recommend it because there is a lot of bureaucracy there. There's a lot of technical things there that a claimant needs to know if they don't want to get delayed or denied. My recommendation is always to have somebody who knows what they're doing submit your claim for you so you can avoid unnecessary delays or denials, who knows the paperwork, who is able to get that in, who has a good contact with the Treasury. You want a firm that's going to treat your claim with the urgency and care that it deserves. So that's way number 3. Number 4, is there a real person to talk to? That's a big one. If you can't see your air finder or recovery specialist or talk to them or ask them questions, I would say run, because communication and trust is the biggest part of this particular profession. You need someone who's going to be honest, transparent, and someone you can actually see and talk to. If they're just if they're unwilling to even let you see who they are, or know anything about the firm, or know anything about the people who work there, or the people who are handling your personal information, that is not good. And I would run. That's a huge red flag. If there's no one to talk to, and you can't see the face of the person that you're giving your personal information to, private, personal information to, I would not move forward with anything with that firm or individual. So, all right. The number, I've got it written down here. Number 5. The number 5. Are they partnered with reputable law firms? That is a big one, because many claims are going to require probate, especially tax foreclosure surplus. Now, state unclaimed property may or may not require probate. It really depends on the property itself. And with unclaimed property, it's mainly financial assets. But it depends. Is it a life insurance policy? Is it a mutual fund? Is it a CD that was left behind? Was it a bank account? There's many different types of financial assets that the unclaimed property division holds, and you want to make sure that you have somebody who's going to know what it is, right? So if they know what it is, they're going to send it to their attorney to handle the probate process for you. The claimant is the client when it comes to the attorneys, okay? The claimant is the client. So we will hand the claimant off to the attorney to handle probate specifically. Once the case is done, once the judgment is given, the claimant comes back to us with the judgment, or the attorney will just send us the judgment anyway, and we will put that together with the claim. We will add that on top of the claim and then submit all that together, okay? But both roles, the role between the recovery specialist, the claim specialist, air finder, and the attorney, it's got to be separate. It cannot be together. Their roles have to be clearly separated, or else it constitutes fee sharing, and that is a big no-no in the state of Missouri. It's a big no-no in every state, really. So the rules have to be clearly defined and clearly separated. And the claimant, when they are represented by the attorney in probate, the claimant is the client, not the recovery firm. The claimant is the client. The representation is for the client. And your recovery specialist, your recovery firm, is who pays for that representation for you. Again, you are not to pay a dime up front. The recovery firm is to pay that attorney up front for their services. They are not, the attorney's not to be paid a percentage at all, or else that constitutes fee sharing. That is why the attorneys are paid up front. The recovery firm, if you ask them if they are working with any reputable law firms, they should be able to give you the name of the law firms that they partner with to get your claim successfully submitted. They should not hide that from you. You should be able to look up the law firm that they're going to use just in case you need probate. You should be able to look that up and find that law firm and say, oh, okay, they do work with a reputable law firm. All right, cool. Because you never want a recovery specialist where all of a sudden you find out you need probate and then they're scrambling to find an attorney to take your case. That can unnecessarily delay or cause a denial because they're scrambling trying to find something, and these attorneys are busy. You know what I mean? If they're not partnered already up with the law firm, please don't do it. I would say please don't do it. That's just my advice here. And also, is there a presence? Is there an online presence? Is there a community presence? Is there an in-person presence? Is there any kind of presence whatsoever? That goes back to, is there a real person that you can talk to or call or ask questions to? Do they have any presence? If they say, oh, our firm's name is so-and-so, and you go on Google and you can't find anything, you go on Facebook, you can't find anything. You go on the Secretary of State website, you can't find anything. You call the Treasury, you can't find anything. You ask anybody, you can't find anything. You do research and you can't find anything. That is a scam. That is not a reputable firm. It is not somebody you want to be giving your information to. There's no accountability. I would say check the BBB, check Yelp, check Google, check Nextdoor, check everything. Just make sure you're dealing with a reputable firm that has some sort of presence to where if you have a bad experience, you should be able to post a review about it. If you want to shout out to the heavens that they messed up your claim so badly, you should be able to do that. And if there is no online presence or community presence or anything like that, I mean, this business is really a reputation and trust-based business. So I would say if there's no presence whatsoever and they've got no reputation to protect, I wouldn't. So I just wouldn't. Okay. So I hope that answered your question. Those are the main ways to tell if you are dealing with a scam or not. If somebody calls you regarding state unclaimed property or tax foreclosure surplus, again, those are the main ways you can find out if it is a scam or not. Alrighty, so for more information, please visit the RuckWood Recovery website, www.ruckwoodrecovery.com. Shoot us an email at rwr@ruckwoodrecovery.com, or give a call to 314-692-4272. Standing by to answer your questions. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Next question comes tomorrow. Take care.